health of our planet and our people. And by helping them thrive, all of us thrive as well. Audabon is a place where birds matter, where habitats are protected, where communities are engaged, and where change takes flight. Because at Audabon, hope begins with birds. Progress begins with birds. It all begins with birds. Audabon.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles.
The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
You're just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Listen to the man who tells you exactly how he sees it. The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out of our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we staying in our cell. We get fed in our cell. We don't come out of our cell at all, and that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed, but that's not enough because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the lines, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's really what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering, awesome. Where's Tory? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to want to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Low.
Wavy boy, go crazy.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Low. Tory Low Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And nothing but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How y'all doing out there in radio land? How y'all doing in the chat? We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Thank you for joining me this Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Who we got in the chat? SE, Cyber King Mike, Jeff is in the chat. How you doing, Kawanda? I see you. Sincere Runny Ray, Real in the chat. Gregory in the chat. Who else? Okay, Deacon. We got the Deacon in the chat. And Sosa baby in the chat. Salute. Thank y'all for joining me on this February 24th. Now, before we get into the show, I wanted to talk about, since it's February and we at the end of Black History Month, many times we talk about advancement or unity or just, community. I think Pastor Milton, when I left the show yesterday, I looked in the talk to text, and I think I saw where, and I don't know why I didn't see it, but I saw where Pastor Milton was in the chat. Salute to Pastor Milton, one of my brothers. He was in the talk to text. He said, "What does community look like? What does, in today's times, what does community look like?" And that was an interesting question, because I think that many times when we talk about community in the Black community, we wonder, okay, what does it look like? What does unity look like? And I always say, like, unity was never for everybody to be buddies. And community doesn't mean you're happy and goodwill to everybody. I mean, it just means that you're working together for the overall goal of economics, education, and neighborhood development. We don't have to be buddies. We don't have to be best friends to do that. We can agree that the kids need a good education. We can agree that if we're going to live in these communities, we need economics, and we can agree that we need neighborhood development, and we need infrastructure. So these are things that you don't have to be friends to do. And I think that many times when people think about unity and coming together, they think that they need to have a meeting. Y'all been trained to go to the meetings. See, I don't do meetings because I do work. I know that you don't have to do all of that to get things done. What you need to do is get out here and get your hands on something and produce an outcome. And many times when you think that coming together means to stand 25 people in one room or, 100 people in one setting and you clapping and all this look like hope, what have that got us? Where have we been? We've been doing this for how many years? Why are we looking out the window still asking the same questions? Why? Because you can gather people together, but they ain't gonna do nothing when they lead a meeting. They ain't gonna do nothing out there in the neighborhood. They doing commercialized community work because they think that since they talked in front of a bunch of people that they did their duty. They called a duty. And that's not true. It ain't worked. That don't work. What works is when you come collaborative on getting ideas implemented, like better educational ideas, like economic ideas. Let's try to get the economics together. Let's get that done. Let's get the neighborhood development. Let's make sure that the kids got what they need to succeed. Let's build infrastructure and update the infrastructure. That's all I'm saying. This is what we have to do. And some people get mad when I say that because they like when people get trapped. You know, mental slavery is real. You know, people live in a delusion now, you know, where they think that, okay, I'm doing my due diligence because I showed up. And many times they have taken the weakest ideas and put them in the front, like coming together, gathering, fellowshipping. You know, we could talk while we working, and we can have some fun after we get some results. But many times people will meet, and then you get to the next meeting, you be like, okay, we didn't even do nothing. Okay, and what happens is you get taken advantage of because you're like sheep being misled by wolves. Understand what I'm saying? What community looks like is you being a resource for your community, what that you can do and contribute your little in your neighborhood. And that don't mean getting taken advantage of. And I'm tired of people saying, I'm tired of helping folks. You help the wrong folks if you got taken advantage of. Your help should never allow you to be taken advantage of. Your help should be strategic and result-based. And if you let somebody continue to use you, now you got used. That's what happened. You thought that your help was doing something beneficial, but actually don't allow your help to be used. Don't allow yourself to be burnt out and used and then blame it on helping people. Because I've been going 17 years straight, and I ain't been burnt out yet. I'm tired, mentally exhausted, but I'm not feeling like somebody used and abused me. Understand what I'm saying? Because some people, they have the desire to help, but they've been misled on how to help. And many times when you be misled on how to help, you get used and abused. They do take kindness for weakness. They don't appreciate. But you need to place your help in strategic ways so you can avoid all of that. Because ungratefulness is real. Ungratefulness is real. Folks are ungrateful all the time. Understand what I'm saying? So this is why you have to tap in to what your purpose is and know that man can never pay you for what God asks you to do. God will pay you. God will give it back to you 100-fold, 1,000-fold. Man can't write you a check for what God asks you to do. And a lot of people don't understand that. Well, because you're under the false illusion that what you're doing, your purpose is a paycheck. All right, I ain't gonna keep talking on because a lot of people get mad when I start talking like that. Understand what I'm saying? It's real. And this is why we spin our wheels when it comes to getting things done, because we've been misled on how to get real results, while people on the outside of our community getting results because they're getting active, they contributing, they doing a little bit, and they hate the neighbor next door. They don't even like the neighbor next door. But you know what? They agree that we have to do certain things to contribute to the overall success. All right, well, we got Miss Carolyn. We got Miss Carolyn on the lines. Miss Carolyn want to join. Miss Carolyn, let's get Miss Carolyn on here. How you doing, Miss Carolyn?
I'm doing fine, Mr. Tory. How you doing?
Blessings, Queen. Blessings, Queen. What do you want to? What you want to comment on, Queen?
I would just want to take my hat off to you because you are right on point when you're talking about the subject of community. Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you what community looks like to me that I see. Mm-hmm. My daughter lives in this community in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin, which is predominantly, Caucasian. Mm-hmm. But it just so happened that this one subdivision that she got gifted a house in, it is all different people. There's an Asian lady, with a black husband. There's an African family. There's a Caucasian. There's two women that are married. And so it's like a rainbow coalition.
Mm-hmm.
And all of their kids go to the same school. And when they go to school and stuff, it's like, say, for instance, you're late and you're not there when the bus is there. Well, the children automatically go home with one of those parents that are there. And then the parent will text the parent and say, oh, I got so-and-so because I didn't see you. And then the children have play dates with each other, like they always at each other's houses.
Mm-hmm.
It's not one of those things, oh, I got to make an arrangement. No, if my grandchild say, oh, now I'm going over to so-and-so house and stuff, and then the daddy say, okay, that's okay. And it's like that all week long. They're at each other's houses. They go to school together. They participate, and they look out for each other. So that's a community to me. And then they share their resources and what they find and stuff like, oh, hey, I found this over here on sale, or this community center is doing this. They share within their community with each other, and they don't see color difference because they are diverse. So this is a great topic, and I like the fact that you talked about meetings. Oh, my goodness, I can't stand when people say, oh, let's have a meeting. What are you having a meeting for? You're not going to do anything. I could just write it down on a piece of paper and tell you, okay, go over here and do this, that, and other. You don't have to be in no room all the time having no freaking meetings. That's crazy because they never get anything done.
Hey.
So that's all I want to say.
Hey, only people that win in the meetings is the people, the organizations, when they sign that paper and they get to send it in to the state to get that funding. That's it.
Joe, you right. Joe, you right. Keep up the good work, Tory.
Hey, I appreciate you, Miss Carolyn. Hey, look, let me tell you this. You know, when we understand that the mental chains around our minds is due to our lack of knowledge and understanding. When you break those chains and get the understanding, the real understanding and the real ways to make results, you become the master of your success or your community. Understand what I'm saying? Hey, look, when we come back, we gonna get into the show, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
And that's Tory Low, bringing you all the action and all the smoke. It's a big week for Milwaukee College Prep. Milwaukee College Prep is a high-performing, nonprofit charter school network serving more than 2,000 black and brown scholars from K-3 through 8th grade right here in Milwaukee. Join MCP as we celebrate Black History Month. Hear directly from their alumni and scholars as they share what Black History Month means to them, the pride, the legacy, and the responsibility to lead. Because Black History isn't just a month, it's the foundation of our future. Milwaukee College Prep, building scholars, shaping leaders, inspiring tomorrow.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Let's go. Tory Low, Tory Low, Tory Low, Tory Low. Advocate, Tory Low, Tory Low, Tory Low, Tory Low, Tory Low, Tory Low. Advocate, Tory Low, Tory Low. We can handle this situation two ways, the low way or the slow way. Let's go.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. I want to head over to Florida where Orlando couple seeks answers after fertility clinic mixed up the leads to a wrong birthing situation. Can you imagine being a couple when you go to these centers to seek them to get you the fertility things that you need to have a child, and the child come out messed up because the situation was mishandled? It's a lot of people that do this now. It's a lot of people go to these fertility situations and try to come out with a baby. Well, we got a story where this couple went into the fertility clinic to get something done, and it came out all wrong. We're going to talk about it after we see this video. I got some comments on this after we see this audio and video. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, we got audio and video on this, and hit that like and subscribe button. Let's listen.
In a new emergency motion, the couple's attorney says the clinic's records show a chaotic labeling system, handwriting patients' names on the tiny straws used to store embryos.
At that time, they're outside of their labeled straws, and they are in petri dishes, and they are in the lab. It makes the most sense that is where a switch could have happened.
The motion states, noting that beyond the straws, the second switch could have been with labeling. That system has narrowed the couple's search for truth down to specific groups. Attorney Circe Denny argued in court.
It appears to us that more likely than not, that retrieval risk pool is the source of the error here.
This motion says women have been coming forward on their own, saying they and their babies may be involved in this heartbreaking mix-up. All of the women coming forward either had embryo transfers on the same day, April 7th, 2025, or had embryos stored the same week as the couple back in 2020. Defense attorney Francis Pierce acknowledged the gravity of the situation, stating,
"There is a small patient population that is involved with the retrievals and an extraordinarily small population involved with the transfer. And these small patients' populations increase the risk of patient identification."
New details in the motion reveal the couple may have found a lead on their own. Part of the motion reads, a woman with a strikingly similar last name who also had a transfer on April 7th contacted the family after seeing their story on the news. A search of the woman's public Facebook page showed a photo of her husband, who the parents say shares a similar complexion to their child. And the couple is asking the clinic for information about a potential match, an Indian couple who had embryos stored at the clinic during that same week in 2020. The couple's legal team emphasized the urgency, stating,
"They have fallen in love with this baby, and they love her and want to keep her. They want to know whether there's any reasonable prospect that they can keep her. But they are also very much concerned that there is somebody out there, someone out there who doesn't know that they are raising their genetic child."
Wow. This is crazy because they go to this fertility clinic. You put your embryo up, to make sure that and they said that there was a mix up with them, how they kind of keep track of this. And on that particular day, there was a lot going on. The white couple went in there and came out with an Asian baby. Wow. Andrew, what do you think about this?
Tori, when we pulled this story, I was like, we have to talk about this. This is insane. Everybody I've talked to about this story leading into this has gone like, that's the absolute worst possible outcome.
Now,
go in to have your kid, you get your IVF, and then you come out with another person's child? Like, this is insane.
Well, hold on. Wait a minute. What happened to their child?
That's another good question.
Their child could be somewhere in somebody's Yeah. I mean, and since their child could be in another white couple's body, and the white couple may be like, okay, we got a baby because the baby came out white, but their baby came out Indian. Hey, now where are they baby at?
Beats me. Who knows?
Wow. And they said they love the baby. They want to keep the baby. She gave birth to the baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Imagine going through labor and then like, hey, I love this baby, but is this my baby? Right?
It kind of it's not yours, but it kind of is yours. You birthed it.
Yeah. That slow pan out on the news too got you, didn't it?
Oh wow. Yeah, it did. I mean, the thing is that baby don't look like the daddy. I mean, we was talking about the jobs that, people can step out and cheat on.
Motion, the couple's attorney says the clinic's record shows.
We was talking about the baby, not the baby, but the jobs that create people stepping out. I wonder, did he question her? Who you been messing with at work? But then it had to be, how long did it take them to figure out that this baby was the wrong embryo?
I imagine like a minute after the birth, right? Like you have to imagine like something went wrong throughout this process. Because I guess they couldn't tell when it was in the womb.
Well, this is what happens when you try to play God. When you try to, go alternative routes. And some people, they want to have children, so this is one of the options. But it can come with human error.
No, huge human error. We're talking about the jobs that you can do that you cannot make a mistake in. This is obviously one of them, Tory. You cannot be a fertility doctor and make these type of mistakes.
Well, it said, Josh in the chat says, I'm not even surprised by this one. And Sincere Ronnie Ray Real says, Dr. Frankenstein Labs. They created a monster. Now, hold on. The embryo grew in this woman's body. It came out looking Asian, but since it went through her body to develop, what is it?
On the census, do you think that she's checking,
I don't know. He might can check the white box. This baby might can get, maybe check the white box. But it's a lot of people, if they got the complexion, they can check the white box. So.
Well, I just feel bad for her parents, right? Like I feel bad for like the baby's original like parents because they are probably like, hey.
Yeah, where the Asian people, where they probably be like, what happened to our baby?
Exactly. Because this is not, the other thing is this isn't cheap. IVF is not cheap.
Right.
This is like a $10,000 mistake.
I think they said Michelle Obama had IVF. I mean, I don't know. But what I'm saying is this. This mix-up can happen when you go into these labs. And I don't even know if we got any sperm banks around here. I don't know. But the embryo is from, when they use the embryo, that's more of your baby. But they're just placing it in a different way so you can have it, right? So this is the couple's embryo. Somebody else's embryo been placed in your body. You've been carrying this baby for 9 months. And it looked like you've been messing around with the mailman. I'm just saying. Or somebody from the corner store. I don't know. But look, when we come back, we're going to have a Pop Culture Report, Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 101.7thetruth.com.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
He's the voice for the people and the community's connection to change.
Sometimes justice looks different to me. Do you want them in jail for murdering Corey Stingley? Yes, you do. Do you want them to go to trial for what they did and go through that process? Hey, you know. But at the end of the day, the men that took Corey Stingley's life, something happened to where they have to accept the fact that they did that and that they have to be labeled a murderer for a certain length of time and when it was nothing, I think that was a huge thing that happened when you had to climb mountains to get to this point. 13 years?
The Tory Low Show, weekdays from 1 to 4 p.m., live on YouTube and right here on 101.7 The Truth.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This True Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. After getting, quote, manhandled by the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, the Bucks play at home against the Miami Heat tonight. Miami is looking to build upon a 3-game win streak with a victory over Milwaukee. This is the second time the two teams have matched up this season. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. The Marquette Golden Eagles are on the road today taking on Georgetown. Tip-off tonight is at 6 p.m. Marquette has a 25-15 advantage in the all-time series against the Hoyas. Marquette has 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home, before they travel to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. And the Wisconsin Badgers travel to Oregon tomorrow for a late tip-off against Oregon at 10 p.m. This True Sports Center update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee.
This is the Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tryna do what I want, do what I feel. Tryna do what I want, do what I feel. Sipping the lemonade, hot like a skillet. This is my town, this is my city. I'm tryna give you the scoop, like I'm McFlurry. Been in about, and it's in a hurry. Open the door for the people. I was tryna show them it's equal. How much you charge for your soul? Yeah, it's true, yeah, I know. The world is so cold. Tory Low, my soul ain't so. Tory Low, yeah, the world is so cold.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Tory Low and Andrew. We got a couple stories I want to run through because we had a situation with the BBC organization and the BAFTA. There's another developing story when it came to Michael B. Jordan and DeLeroy Lindo. They were on stage presenting an award. I guess somebody with Tourette's, said the N-word. And salute to Michael B. Jordan and DeLeroy for just staying the course, because many times the devil try to distract you. Many times the devil be trying to set you up, but they did not fall for it, because to me it looked like, in my opinion, it looked like a setup. But they stayed the course, and now the BBC and the
BAFTA have to answer questions now. They have to answer questions. So what's going on with this, Andrew? Give us an update.
What's interesting, Tori, is we were talking yesterday a little bit about this, and at first it was like the shockwaves of like this happening at all. Now you have people answering questions. The BBC, I feel like, is answering the most questions here because they had the option to potentially mute that audio. They could have censored that audio. They didn't have to send that to the rest of the world. There wouldn't have been video clips of it online, but instead they decided to run an unedited version in Britain, in Europe, and then, of course, it comes to the United States as well. So Warner Brothers came out today, Tori, who is the distributor of Sinners, who has a very good relationship with Michael B. Jordan, and they had to come out and say, hey, we made a phone call. We knew this happened because we had representatives there. The studio in L.A. called the BBC and said, hey, please edit that out. Allegedly, that conversation was supposed to get to a BBC editor. Conversation never happened or didn't get translated over. And now we have the situation we currently are in.
Okay,
but there's a lot of people who are trying to put all of their different, like, hey, keep us out of this.
Well, I'm going to throw the flag on the play. See, this is why I need my red flag. I got to throw the flag on the play. Why? It's because when it was said, everybody in the production room heard it. So you don't need to make a call to get that out of there. I mean, I think this is cleanup on behalf of Warner Brothers, but why would you have to make a call when everybody heard it? And if the editors of the show, the people behind the scenes heard it, why didn't they immediately say, okay, we got to dump that? They dumped all the other stuff that they wanted to dump. It was other things that were said on the show. I think it was somebody that was talking about Palestine, like Free Palestine or something like that. There was other things in the show that took place that got edited, but they kept the N-word in there.
Which is, again,
so what I'm saying is if you got a whole production that heard it, understand what I'm saying. And the guy said, they said the actor or the guy with Tourette's, what's his name? I mean, what's his name, Andrew?
I'm going to get it for you here in a second.
I'm saying is we need to start mentioning his name. You know, I kind of, you know, when we hear this story, we don't hear the name of the guy who did it. We just know he have Tourette's. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, this was strategically planned to allow this to come out. They got a delay. They could have stopped it. And then they put it online in the post-production with the N-word in the post-production. So they knew what they was doing. You can't tell me that these mega broadcasting companies that have all these people, all these minds, don't know what to do with this.
John Davidson is the man's name. He's
John Davis,
the executive producer of I Swear. The movie is, the documentary biopic is about him. And we were talking about this pre-show that, you know, he's the executive producer of this movie. That's why he was in the crowd in the first place. Ironically, he says this awful thing, and then he kind of slinks out. He's able to kind of get out of the crowd. So
they got him out of there.
Yeah, there's no questions afterwards. The media couldn't ask him questions afterwards about, like, hey, what's the deal with that? You know, so
what I'm saying is this sounds like a setup to me. And he's the perfect, you know, and this, you know, if I don't care if you don't like what I'm finna say, but he was the perfect person to put up to do this, in my opinion. Because during the whole show, he's sitting there, and then as soon as they get to the pulpit to announce, this comes out. The timing of it, and then him being able to skedaddle and get out of there because he, you know, okay, it's time for you to go. You said the wrong thing. So if that can happen, how come the production ain't saying, okay, this is a mistake, or not even a mistake, but this is something that we need to block out? Why would you need somebody to call you from somewhere else because they heard it and tell you not to put it in?
And think how much better all of our lives would have been if this happened, like if they edited it out, Tori. Because like if they just do their job, this doesn't go online, this doesn't get broadcasted to millions of people. Obviously, John Davidson has to apologize to Michael B. Jordan and to, you know, the other guys up there, right? So you could have made everybody's life easier if this happened, if you just did your job. But now you have to answer questions. Michael B. Jordan and Sinners and the entire cast has to answer questions during this Oscar run here, like in the last little bit. Like
trash.
Everything is bad now.
All I'm saying is, all right, and I'm asking legitimate questions. Can a person with Tourette's speak regularly?
Yes.
And then this outburst is random, right? So can they swear on their own?
Yes.
Okay. They can choose to swear on their own if they want to. So what is when they choose to swear on their own and when it's Tourette's? Can you tell the difference? And can they mimic, since they have Tourette's, can they mimic it at any time?
Theoretically, yeah.
Okay, so it's all questionable because when I see the timing of the word being used and the altitude of the voice where it's out loud, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe this isn't the right place for you to be if you can't, control.
I wonder what are some of the restrictions on him for doing this. Because at the end of the day, he needs to never be allowed to come to any award show.
Probably get invited to that.
And then he needs to be, sued because many times, the fact that he was, in a space where it may have caused harm to actors or people's image and things like that. You can say whatever you want to say, but I think that, to me, it was a setup.
So if Delroy and Michael B. Jordan decide to, sue him, you'd be okay with that?
I would be okay with that. His production, he an executive producer. If you are executive producer over a show that's based around you, you're not dealing with the actors, you're not dealing with the scripts, you're not giving them information on how to really shape the production. He's not somebody that's in a corner that's quiet and mute and just blabbers out whatever. He's somebody that can function to a certain degree, but he just probably has these outbursts. But that doesn't mean that he can't say something. What if he get into it with his girlfriend arguing, right? Can he call his girlfriend another name outside of her name without the Tourette's? Yes, he can. So you could just say, okay, it's all Tourette's did. He couldn't help it, right? But he can actually swear if he wants to. He can do that too as well.
It's like a get out of jail for free card.
So that's all I'm saying. So it's a lose-lose situation.
So you had a good take earlier. What do you think this does to the Sinners Oscar nominations and wins?
I think that now that they have done this, Sinners will be under a microscope at the Oscars. Michael B. Jordan and De La Roy will be under a microscope because of this controversy. And I believe that they're going to come away with some hardware.
They're up for Best Picture. Michael B. Jordan's up for Best Actor. It could be something.
Well, all I'm going to say is I think that with the way that they handled themselves were brilliant. And I'm going to continue to say that many times everything don't need your energy. Sometimes things happen and you know it's wrong and you know that you want to say something at that moment. But in certain spaces and times, you got to know when to just allow for the moment to pass. And now since they have done that, the pressure's on the production, the pressure's on all of the people that put that situation together, and they get to move on and continue to be great. And at that moment, with all the cameras watching, they stood strong and resilient and continued to do the job that they came there for. And I believe in the end, it's going to pay in their favor. It's going to come out in their favor in the end. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more Pop Culture Report. Stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Low Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
The road to the championship ends here. The best of the best, the City Championship Gold Division. One game, one title, one team raising the trophy. After a season of battles, buzzer beaters, and unforgettable moments, it all comes down to this. Who's built for the pressure? Who's ready to make history? Listen live on 1017 The Truth and on the Truth app, your home for City Championship basketball.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call and that's all.
They will do what they say they're gonna do. One call and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Black people put in cages, he about to free them. I said black people getting shot and he about to bleed them. He a fight for the men and he is fighting for the women. If they talking about the money, he ain't never gonna need them. He a bigger than the bank account, bigger than the pesos. Looking for the demons, he gon' find them where the pesos. When they look for him, they can find him in the trenches. They try to keep him out, he breaking all the fences. The big bad wolf blowing down the White House. Plans see him coming and they turning all the lights out. Yeah, they turning all the lights out. Try to keep him quiet, but he never gonna pipe down, man.
1017 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Pop Culture Report brought to you by Tory Low and Andrew. Now, Andrew, this beef between T.I. and 50 is picking up because I guess T.I. just dropped a diss track, but 50 keeps posting memes. And is this to me, this is attention grabbing because one is rapping and the other is just having fun with this.
Yeah,
poking fun.
I don't love that 50 is just poking fun at this. I kind of do wish that this would turn into an actual rap beef, Tory, because
But does 50 have to rap, though?
I personally think 50 would win.
Well, I'll say this. 50 chimed in on a podcast with Mano, Jim Jones, Fabulous, and he said that they were squatters. Now, they're not even in the building no more, and they got video of Jim Jones kicking in the door to try to get in because 50 and the owner I think, are business partners. And I guess 50 is saying that Jim Jones owes him money now because he kicked in the doors and did the damage to get back into the podcast space. So 50 is winning these battles without having to rap. Even though they rapped, and Fabulous dropped what they call one of the best diss tracks at 50 Cent. He didn't have to say nothing. He won. They don't even have the podcast up anymore. They ain't even doing the podcast no more. He destroyed that podcast, and he didn't have to rap.
Yeah, but
50 on something else.
I want
50
him
in a
the
different
studio.
level, yeah.
Corey, I want him in the studio. I want 50 Cent because Nazir came in here yesterday and said that he would take T.I. in a versus battle against 50 Cent, and I couldn't sleep last night. I was so upset about it, Tory. I legitimately could not sleep. I was on the treadmill this morning listening to Get Rich or Die Trying.
Right.
I'm a 50 Cent fan, and I want him to come back at T.I. because I think that T.I. has done a lot. You know, he's a good rapper. He's solid for the South, and I just want 50 Cent to get back in the studio.
Why would 50 Cent take part in boosting somebody's album sales? Okay, that's all I'm saying.
Fair point.
Why would I give you life? Because he already gave him an alley-oop. He already gave him the algorithm because he's talking about 50 and knowing when you're talking about 50, people going to be wanting to see what 50 going to do, what they going to do, just back and forth. It's just great promo. It's just great promo. If 50 decides to rap in this situation, he would only help T.I. It wouldn't even help him.
But it would help me as a fan, Tory.
Okay, but like I said, 50's not looking to drop no albums. He's only looking to drop film projects. He turned G-Unit into a film company. G-Unit is now a film company in Shreveport, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
T.I. still out here trying to, rap, make albums. He was just doing comedy. He struck out in comedy. He tried it. It didn't work. Now he back to rapping. He's infusing himself, he's infusing the internet with his new music. To me, if 50 comes out of where he's at to rap, he can't win. He's not going to win that because he's not thirsty and hungry enough for the rap is not making him any money at this point. He's not thirsty or hungry for the streets like that no more. He have moved his energy into another space, but yeah, he can give people an alley-oop by beefing with them. And to me, T.I. wins if it's just rap. But overall, 50 wins because his name is getting mentioned, his brand is still being mentioned, and it's keeping both of them relevant to me.
So let me ask you this. Can you become bigger than the music? Because that's what it kind of feels like you're saying. It's like 50 Cent's now larger than...
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, you can. You can become bigger than the music.
Who else has done that?
Well, I'll say this. I think that at one point, and a lot of people going to be upset with me for saying this, but I think Diddy became bigger than the music. I think Jay-Z became bigger than the music. Yeah, I think Russell Simmons, it's the people that have done it. Now, they shady tactics while they're in this space have came out to bite them on the back end. But I believe that sometimes music can become a platform if you use it right. I think Master P became bigger than the music. So
the one I always think about is Michael Jackson, because Michael Jackson at some point was getting shot from every which way. If you remember, Eminem had that diss line about him, and he just bought his catalog. He said, "Okay, you know what? I own your catalog."
And I think Michael Jackson showed the blueprint on how you cannot respond and still win. You don't have to, just because somebody smack you, that don't mean you got to smack them back. Now, just because you smack me, I may use something else and do something else to you. I don't have to respond the way you respond to me. I may come with something else that may be more obliterating. And all I'm saying is 50 Cent have mastered how to obliterate his competition.
Yeah.
And that wasn't through rapping.
And it just at the beginning it was.
Well, what I'm saying is he have elevated to where he have taken it to the next level where he's controlling the ideology and the culture. And rappers don't control they may control a trend, but they don't control the culture as far as like directing the culture. 50 learned how to direct the culture now. So I think T.I. is a dope rapper. I believe that T.I. is an amazing performer, but I believe that right now 50 is assisting T.I. with these antics.
But do you put him ahead of 50 Cent? Like if you had to make a list, would T.I. be ahead of 50 Cent to you?
Not as a rapper, no.
See, and this is where I had the beef yesterday with
not as a rapper, no. I think as a performer, T.I. got some bangers, but as a person that influences the culture and how the direction where 50 took the culture, I think that T.I. can't win that.
Here's what I'm concerned about, though, Tory, is that this turns into the NBA All-Star game. Is that everybody thinks that they're 50 Cent. Everybody thinks that they are Russell Simmons or P. Diddy or Jay-Z that's just bigger than the music. And then nobody wants to go at each other anymore on wax. That's what I miss. I want people to get in the studio and throw shots. I want people to get in, give us bars.
You want the entertainment.
As a fan,
you there for the entertainment.
Oh, yeah. I don't care.
Here
like,
we
the
go.
memes are fine. The Instagram posts are fine. But I want,
I don't know, Drew.
I want songs.
All I'm going to say is 50 don't have to rap anymore. 50 is a mogul. That's like asking the executive CEOs to come out and come back to where they started. Everybody starts somewhere, then everybody finishes somewhere. That would be backtracking for 50 to drop a track.
It hurts my feelings that you don't think that he needs to get in the studio anymore.
I don't think 50 needs to get in the studio at all. He's doing a great job at keeping everybody interested, and he's doing it in a different way. Now, I'll say this. 50, if he dropped a diss track at this point and it wasn't good, it wouldn't be good for his brand.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
So, no, why would you take that chance?
Not like us, gave us an entire summer, one diss track, 50 Cent, get in the studio, please.
What I don't like is these older men are using beef as a way to promote their products. And they both talk about drug dealing and dope and everything like that to promote their products. And they come off like T.I.'s coming off like he's a family man and things like that. But what I'm saying is they have both sold gangster, drug dealing stories to get where they are. And I think that the beef comes with that lifestyle. Fighting over territory, turf, things like that. So I believe that needs to end. I think that this is old. I think that Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole, a lot of that rap that they're doing is kind of ushering in a new generation of people that got a little bit more substance and a little bit more productivity for the community. I think that all of that beefing and turf, all of that was destructive toward the community. And sometimes that ideology didn't come out well when it transferred into the neighborhood because people thought that was real. A lot of that was fake. Maybe some of their real instances in life was real, but it was over-exaggerated with the entertainment. And I think a lot of people looked at these people as that this is the way I'm going to live my life, and it put them in jail. It took them away from their families. All that poison in the community only got a lot of people locked up. I don't know. I just think that that to see these old people, these old heads, and they over 50. They close in their 50s or they over their 50s, and they trying to bring this drama back up. But we should have learned from Tupac and Biggie that the media won. The media won. When you have beef like this, all of the blogs, all of the media, they're just feeding the media and the blogs, and they're keeping the interest of the people, and it's really distracting to a certain degree, because if you really look at the ideas that they're pushing, a lot of it is detrimental to the community.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. You would know better than me, and I agree with that completely. But so if they've squashed this and they did do a versus, would you be excited to see it?
What you say?
If they did do a versus at the end of this whole thing, would you still go to see it? Like a versus?
Of course, I watch everything in the culture.
Gotcha.
I mean, it ain't. You don't have to take a die-hard stance on everything. You just got to know what you're looking at.
All right, we're up against it. Giannis trying to bring Devin Booker to the Bucks. You excited?
What? You think Devin Booker if Devin Booker come to the Bucks, that would be amazing for Giannis, because Giannis will at least have somebody, that's bringing up the ball that has at least high-level competitive experience.
He's making the pitch. We'll keep an eye on it.
Well, we keep an eye on that. Hopefully, keep your fingers crossed. Do we have the money to even pay Devin Booker? All right. Look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
This Black History Moment is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law.
Fred Hampton was born on August 30th, 1948, and assassinated on December 4th, 1969. We've all heard the fiery speeches. We've all heard the stories of his charismatic leadership as the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. But Minister Fred Hampton, or Black Moses as he was dubbed, was much more than that. Fred Hampton believed that the only way to create lasting change in this country was for the poor and underprivileged to join forces. With this in mind, in April of 1969, Fred Hampton announced the creation of the Rainbow Coalition, a coalition that would be used to fight police brutality amongst a list of other things. With all that's going on in our country today, we could use a Black Moses. 57 years later, and here we are again with the poor and underprivileged needing to unite once again. Let's see who steps up.
This Black History Moment is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law.
Did you know that for 80 years, Paralyzed Veterans of America has been a lifeline for our nation's veterans with spinal cord injuries and diseases like MS and ALS, and all people with disabilities? In just the last 12 months, PVA has funded research of the first non-addictive pain medication in over a decade, partnered with an award-winning sports anchor to fight for accessible medical care for women veterans, ensured all women with disabilities feel seen and empowered with help from a top cosmetic company. And that doesn't even include what PVA have done over the last 80 years, like secured the passage of the Americans with Disabilities Act, pioneered wheelchair basketball, helped design iconic landmarks, made the DC Metro a model transit system, and wrote and distributed resources in over 60 countries in 4 languages. None of this would be possible without your help. Every breakthrough, every battle won, and every life impacted is driven by you. Visit PVA.org to learn more.
A message from Tia Mori, actress and Fair Celebrity Ambassador.
Game day isn't staged, it's lived. It's the shopping, the cooking, the laughter. For families managing food allergy, that same spirit of preparation means everything. Because food allergy isn't a lifestyle. It's a serious, life-threatening disease that can change everything in a moment. But being ready changes the story. It's knowing the signs, having a plan, and carrying epinephrine everywhere life takes you. Epinephrine is the only treatment that can stop a severe food allergy reaction known as anaphylaxis. It works quickly to reverse the symptoms and can save lives. As families and friends gather for the big game, we see what community looks like. It's one built on awareness, care, and love in action. Because readiness doesn't take away the risk. It brings back the joy. When you're ready to act, you're ready to live.
Visit foodallergy.org/ready to act to learn more.
All of your favorite 1017 The Truth content whenever you want. The Truth app has it all. The Truth is on 1017 and 1510 WGKB Waukesha, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
1017 The Truth. Tory Low. Tory Low Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 1017 The Truth. Truth Nation, we got guests from Milwaukee College Prep. We got Dominique Felder in studio. She's the alumni. She's an alumni and alumni relations coordinator. And we got Jada Cole, who's an alumni of Milwaukee College Prep, in studio. Hey, we got to have this conversation because Milwaukee College Prep has been a tremendous support right here at 1017 The Truth.
Yes.
And I love it when Milwaukee College Prep come through, with the information. And look, if you got a child, that, college bound,
Yes.
go to MCP where brilliance is, begins. You can get you a scholar. They got programs. They got things that helping the alumni, people that already graduated.
Yes.
I understand what I'm saying. This is powerful.
It is very powerful. And we are in enrollment right now. So please, if you are interested in our mission, what we do, now's the time.
Now, look, Dominique, I got a question. Tell the audience about Milwaukee College Prep?
Of course. So Milwaukee College Prep is a K-8 school here in Milwaukee. We service students majority on the north side of Milwaukee. We have a campus on 12th and Lloyd, a campus on 12th and North Avenue, 36th Street, 38th Street. MCP has been around for 29 years now. Really focus on our mission, which is knowledge plus character paves the road to college and beyond. I don't just say those words. I live those words. I am those words. And I have been working there for 13 years, cultivating more students who can live out that mission.
Dominique, what do you mostly remember about your time at Milwaukee College Prep? Because usually kids graduate and they move on. But you came back. You doubled back. You know, they say don't double back. No.
They do.
And they try to tell you not to double back, but it was so good that you had to double back and continue to be a part of the legacy.
Yes.
That's going on at MCP.
Yeah, one of my favorite memories of MCP is something that we still do at MCP, and we take our students out of town. We do a 5th, 6th grade trip where our students are able to go to Washington, D.C. and engage in all of the museums and the amazing culture of D.C. But then our 7th and 8th graders are allowed to go on a college/civil rights tour.
Okay.
It was my 8th grade year when we went to Spelman College, which is the college that I graduated from. I'm a proud graduate of Spelman. And it was that moment in my 8th grade year when I stood on that campus with MCP taking me there, and I said, I'm going to Spelman. And from that moment, if it wasn't for that opportunity that MCP gave me, I don't know if I would have even ever thought about Spelman.
They exposed you to
They exposed me
the
to
black
it.
colleges.
Yes, they did. Yes.
Now, Jada Cole in studio, she's an alumni of MCP, and you just started Marquette.
I did.
That's what's up.
Yes, I'm studying mechanical engineering.
What? Mechanical engineering?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you feel, and tell the audience your experience with Milwaukee College Prep as you look back and reflect. What does going to MCP mean to you?
MCP was not only just a school for me. A lot of my family was built just by being there. For example, like Miss Felder, she's been in my life since I've met her, even before she was my teacher. And just those connections alone have created me and developed me to be the person that I am today. I wasn't as confident as I was now. And just the academics as well. I feel like it really prepared me for my future educations now. It made me feel like I didn't have to be the smartest in the room. And even if I wasn't, I knew that my presence meant the most. And not just my words. And they have a way of really developing like students' brains to make them know I can be here. I can succeed. I can get to this place, even if they didn't have the idea before.
That's powerful. Now, it's Black History Month.
Yes.
I need to know, what does Black History Month mean to each one of you? Like I said, everybody has their own perception of what this month means. What does it mean to you?
I feel like it's a reminder. It's really easy to doubt myself, especially going to a PWI. It reminds me that my presence means a lot. And as I stated before, it's very hard to doubt yourself. And just knowing that there are other African-American people that came before me that were able to achieve what was once known as impossible, it gives me the confidence to know that I can get to where I achieve to be.
At MCP, our students every day recite what we call the Declaration of Excellence. And one of the lines is, I walk on the shoulders of the giants who have come before me. And to me, Black History Month is a reminder of that, like Jada said, reminder of the shoulders that I'm walking on, the legacy that I'm building, not only for the present, but for the future. And I can't do that without looking at the past and everything that has been contributed by my ancestors. So I really embody what that line says. I'm walking on those shoulders. I'm doing the work to make my ancestors proud.
Now, when you talk about being prepared for college and beyond, I mean, you got to go through, because sometimes those tests come, and you know how they say MPS has some of the weaker test scores in the country. Many times you want to get involved with a school that kind of prepares you ahead of time.
Yes.
So you can see it coming. And now you've been to Marquette, you've been to Spelman. When you entered into college, sometimes, when you're not prepared, it's overwhelming, and many of the subject matters you probably ain't been taught or seen, even the testing, the ACT, the SAT. How is Milwaukee College Prep preparing students to take on the next education level as far as college and beyond?
We have a very rigorous curriculum at MCP. It is very much said that we teach a year ahead for our scholars. Now, I know that there have been times where kids come back and they're like, that book that we read in 7th grade, we just not reading that in 9th grade, when we go to high school. So they feel very prepared in that manner. But I think the special sauce about MCP is that we have educators who care. We go to the limit. Like we were just in the hallway talking, Jada and I. I was her teacher during COVID, and we found a way. We found a way to make sure that she still felt prepared when she went to Martin Luther and excelled there as well. And so, to answer that question, it's the rigorous curriculum that we engage our scholars with, and then it's also our passionate teachers.
Now, do alumni come back all the time? Because obviously you're the coordinator for alumni relations, Dominique. But what I'm saying is, why is that important to keep that flow of traffic? Hey, once you leave here, you're still a part of the family here.
It's extremely important to the fabric. Being an alum myself, I could have went to a lot of schools. I was in a teacher program called Teach for America, so I could have went to any school in this city. But when I was afforded the opportunity to come to MCP, it just made sense. Because for myself, it's like I need students like Jada to be able to see that this is a possibility for them. And so that's why we don't close our doors to our alum. They could come, they volunteer, they're at our programs, because we need our students to be able to see themselves. It's not by surprise that we have this programming. It's not by surprise that this alumni program has existed even when I was an alum, because we understand that that's a very, very important part to the fabric of who we are.
And to me, I think that it exposes them not only to what they can do as far as when they go to college, but see the success that comes back from people that went and came back with successful stories.
Yes.
That kind of gives them the edge that, okay, it's not so scary.
Yeah, and I'm a great story as an alumni coordinator, but we have Devin Weber, who is also an alum, and he's a principal at our 38th Street campus. We have Kyrie Carson, who is a special education teacher at our Lola Road North campus. I mean, I could just name drop a whole bunch of people. Rihanna Ford, all of these people are people who were my classmates under me, all of those things, and they're still in the fold because it matters. It matters.
Now, when we talk about parenting, I mean, how do y'all kind of get the parents involved? Because many times a lot of people say that the kids are a reflection of what happens at home. A lot of kids come into the school maybe from broken situations. How are y'all dealing with the parent situation with the relationship of school, parenting, and student?
I'll let Jada answer that too, because she's had an interesting way that her parent is involved in our school, and I think that it highlights what MCP is all about. But from my lens, of course, we have an amazing parent coordinator. Her name is Lisa Goodman, and she does a lot of great work to engage our parents. But it goes back to what I said, Tori. We have passionate teachers. The juice and the thing that makes MCP what it is that we are like a family. We come together and we're working in this model together as a family. I mean, when I walk through the hallways, a lot of times I'm not Miss Felder, I'm TT Felder.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And so...
What's up, TT?
Yeah, TT, that's me, And that's the fabric of who we are. We're joining with our families. We're not against our families, we're joining with them. They're a part of what we are. So I think that that's what makes us special. But I would like Jada to tell a little bit about her parental experience and why I'm saying it's a little interesting.
My mom actually worked at the YMCA that was connected to Lola Roy, and she is now working in the office administration. And I go there a lot as much as I can, and she tells me all the time, like, some kids, like, coming from the homes that they are in, they don't have that family bond.
Right.
And when she gets there, she feels like it's her job to make them feel like they are loved. And I feel like that was my main goal when I was in school, like, just finding teachers and finding other people besides my parents that made me feel like I was at home and that reminded me of my worth. And my mom does just that, and I really do shout her out because she's an amazing person. And she comes home and tells me all the time, everybody calls me TT, just like how I used to call her TT Felder, like, all the time. And it's just like the love aspect, and they care enough to reach out to the parents, to have them, like, and remind them that, you know, your kid needs to be here, or, like, you know, if you need help, let me know, like, all that type of stuff.
That's powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, when we come back, look, we got Jada Cole, we got Dominique Felder in studio from MCP.
Yes.
Look, the alumni and the alumni relationships coordinator in studio.
Mm-hmm.
Look, when we come back, we're going to have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
More of the Tory Low Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. The award-winning 1017 The Truth proudly celebrates Black excellence and the most monumental moments in our history. Tune in for Dr. Ken's trivia, spotlighting powerful facts and moments you need to know. And Tory Low's Our Voices, Our Stories, amplifying the youth, perspectives, and lived experiences that define who we are. Celebrating Black excellence, celebrating our history. All month long on 1017 The Truth.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The road to the championship ends here. The best of the best. The City Championship Gold Division. One game, one title, one team raising the trophy. After a season of battles, buzzer beaters, and unforgettable moments, it all comes down to this. Who's built for the pressure? Who's ready to make history? Listen live on 1017 The Truth and on the Truth app, your home for City Championship basketball.
Hey y'all, it's 1017 The Truth's Rhea Riley for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. Skip the sterile clinical office feel. Sweet Talk stays on the cutting edge of beauty and wellness innovations in a vibrant, playful space promoting self-love and confidence. Sweet Talk specializes in a range of treatments, including injectables, medical-grade skincare, weight loss, hormone therapies, and more. Not sure where to start? Sweet Talks offers comprehensive wellness consultations to create a customized plan centered around you. Because at Sweet Talks, your goals are their goals. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tory Low is coming through. Tory Low, get on the floor. You want some more? Tory Low. Well, it's 4:30. No more liquor stores. Take it to the house, 'cause Tory's still around. Tory Low, get on the floor. You want some more? Tory Low.
1017 The Truth. Tory Low Show. We got alumni in from MCP, alumni and alumni relations coordinator Dominique Felder and Jada Cole in studio. Now, I wanted to talk about just being a school in, I don't know if it's 53206 or is it 53212, but I think it's on
06.
53206. Yeah. Being in a zip code where it has a lot of negative statistics and thriving with education, I think that's amazing. I think that's amazing. But when it comes to just youth and being proactive instead of reactive, knowing that many of these children are coming from homes where they may not have everything that they need. To me, to have a school that is thinking ahead and getting them acclimated, even though many of the students may be coming in from bad situations, and actually taking that child and bringing them up to speed, up to grade level, and even beyond, to college and beyond, I also think that is amazing.
Yes.
But what are some of the programs that keep children that actually makes MCP active, and so they don't get to be reactive where they see the child and next thing you know the child is acting out and things like that? How do you get ahead of all of this that comes with students and the 53206?
I love that question, Tori, because, you know, I went to our 36th Street campus. I was a girl from our 41st and Meineke. I walked to school all the time. But when I went to MCP, you know, our logo is a light bulb. And I always explain to people that MCP truly was a light in my community. They provided resources for my family. They ensured that there were teachers around that care for us. But when I think about MCP right now and the things that we have even put in place over the years that I've been there, we have really drawn focus into socio-emotional learning. We do a lot of character development in regards to that. Like, all of our teachers teach character development at least 2 times out of the week. We also have a very, very unique thing that I think we have is in every one of our schools, we have a mental health therapist. So our students are able to engage in therapy at school. And I think that that's something that's very conscious of us, you know, to understand that, like, our kids need to be able to ensure that school is a safe place, that they have somewhere where they can talk about things. And then the programs like what I'm running, there aren't many schools in this city where there is a K-8 school that's following their alumni. And I think that is another beautiful thing that keeps the mission going. We can't have the college and beyond if we don't have anybody ensuring that that's happening.
Right.
And having me in place, I think, is a great thing because my passion for it is so strong. I want to see kids be just like me, Tori, better than me. You know what I mean?
Take it to the next level.
Take it to the next level, like Jada right now. So it's all about.
And I feel like it starts with the alumni. Just last year, I hosted a thing at my high school, Martin Luther Spartan Serve, where I could help collect school supplies and old MCP uniforms for the kids at the MCP schools. And I feel like it was just great knowing that I can get a head start on what will be needed in the classroom. Yeah.
Well, I just salute the efforts to just be vigilant many times with the issues and the problems that come with being in the 53206. And you both are products of that idea that children can be brilliant and successful and far beyond their college life and come back and contribute to the community. This last question I wanted to ask was something that I've been dealing with lately, and I've been going to different schools and trying to figure out why there is bullying. You know, when it comes to bullying, you would think after all these years, they would have the bullying system up. Right. You know, they would have this, how to deal with that down pack, but even today, they still have an issue with bullying in schools. How is MCP fighting against the ideal of bullying?
Well, of course, you know, when it's anti-bullying awareness times, we engage in all of that. But the thing that I want to highlight is at our school, we root our scholars in what we call TREC values. And that stands for trust, respect, empathy, courage, and kindness. And within all of those skills, within all of those skills, we have like daily skills that our students focus on. And so I like to draw the attention to the fact that even in the character values that we have, empathy is one of our strongest ones, because a lot of times our students need to understand what it feels like to be in someone else's shoes. And so that is something that's really big at MCP, rooting our students and understanding that it's way bigger than just what you can present academically, but it's really about your character and what you present, because you never know how you're going to need these people.
Right.
My 8th grade teacher from MCP ended up being my boss for 4 years.
Oh, wow.
So you just never know how this will impact. You know, Jada might need to come back and impart into MCP in a way, and you just never know. And so just teaching students the importance of that, helping our scholars, helping our scholars understand that it's way greater than right now.
That's powerful.
And for me, E standing for excellence. And because of all the other Trek values, and I know it changed over time, but all the other Trek values reminded me that like excellence just is based off who's the smartest, who has the most stuff, who has the best shoes. And thank God it was a uniform school, so that helped limit a lot of the bullying. But it just reminded me that like excellence comes from compassion. It comes from being able to connect with others, connect with your peers, lift people up, and not just worried about yourself. Get into that, to the top, bring your friends and others with you.
Being a supportive teammate.
Being a supportive teammate.
Oh, wow. Well, how can the community continue to assist with what's going on and what you guys are doing in the community at MCP?
You know, another arm of my position is I'm the outreach coordinator. And so any way that any organization that's listening right now feels that they can be of a benefit to an amazing organization like MCP, please feel free to reach out. You can also check us out on MKE, MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com. On that website is where you can find info about us. That's where you can apply. We are in enrollment right now for K through 8, so you are definitely able to go to our website and apply up until February 28th. That's one way you can help as well. Right. We want the babies. We want the scholars. But just continuing to push the mission. Like if you have alum who aren't connected, make sure that they get connected, and just keep on pushing the vision of MCP, knowledge plus character, packaging and beyond.
Now, I'll say this. As alumni, what do you want to say to people who are listening to this show when it comes to, considering allowing MCP to take their child in? What do you want them to say? Because y'all are the finished product many times of the program. What do you want to say that people say, okay, I'm thinking about, giving my kids over to MCP for the education?
Jada, I want to let you go first.
I want to say just know that the teachers care for your child and they will never let them fail. For me, I had a lot of times where I doubted because I wasn't the smartest in the room, but they reminded me that I have my strengths and that I could get to wherever I wanted to be. And just the school curriculum in general, and that teachers try their best. Even when we were during COVID and Miss Felder was my teacher, she tried her best to provide us with, like the things that we needed to learn, but also having fun. And I would just say the teachers there allowed me to get to where I was, especially with my major, Zern and all the other stuff, making it fun, allowing like songs to be included in the curriculum and just connecting with the teachers. So I would just say trust in the people that work there.
Again, I'm bringing up our Declaration of Excellence, and it says that I will find a way to achieve excellence, or I will make one. And if that's what you want for your scholar, then MCP is the place for them.
Yes.
Powerful.
Thank you.
All right. Thank y'all for coming through.
Thank you.
Jada,
so
Dominique, amazing conversation.
Thank you.
Look, I would say if you're considering putting your kids in the school, I would suggest MCP. It sounds like they have a lot of activities, a lot of action approaches to dealing with the kids, especially from the 53206, and they got a lot of support going on. And I appreciate y'all for coming on the show.
Of course,
no problem
thank
at all.
you.
Thank you so much, Tory.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we got more guests. Stay locked in.
The Tory Low Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Many wins. Many, 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 many wins. Waiting at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This February, you could break the bank and get down with a share of $300,000 in prizes. Bust out your rewards card and play to earn entries. It all goes down with Thursday drawings. Break the bank. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Thank you, Milwaukee. Because of you, the second annual Truth Community Awards was an unforgettable celebration of the leaders, changemakers, and heroes who make our city shine. A special thank you to our incredible partners, Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks Foundation, Gruber Law Offices, Steinhoffels, Cousins Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. And thank you to our presenting sponsor, Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Together, we're celebrating community, culture, and impact. We'll see you next year at the Truth Community Awards.
Real talent is defined by what people can do, not where they learn to do it. So by stopping at the education section of a resume, you might throw away the perfect hire. You might miss someone who has valuable skills to offer to help your business thrive right now and in the future. Because the truth is this: Skills First Hiring helps you see talent others miss, like more than 70 million stars, skilled through alternative routes. When you let their story unfold, you gain a competitive advantage, because hiring managers who start with skills are 60% more likely to find a successful hire. See the real person, complete. See what others miss. Hire skills first. Learn why it's a competitive advantage at tearthepaperceiling.org. Brought to you by Opportunity at Work and the Ad Council.
This True Sports Center update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. After getting, quote, manhandled by the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, the Bucks play at home against the Miami Heat tonight. Miami is looking to build upon a 3-game win streak with a victory over Milwaukee. This is the second time the two teams have matched up this season. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. The Marquette Golden Eagles are on the road today taking on Georgetown. Tip-off tonight is at 6 p.m. Marquette has a 25-15 advantage in the all-time series against the Hoyas. Marquette has 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home, before they travel to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. And the Wisconsin Badgers travel to Oregon tomorrow for a late tip-off against Oregon at 10 p.m. This True Sports Center update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee.
This is the Tory Low Show on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Look, Tory been on it before the ball born. Baby sister died and he couldn't just mourn. I had to organize a funeral, but that ain't the norm. They ain't treating people right, it coming with a swarm. Man, local plague, you the devil, you ain't about to win. Look,
101.7 The Truth. Tory Low Show. Now, I made a call out to the poets. It's February. I need all the poets to come on the Tory Low Show because we need to hear something powerful. We need to hear something powerful. So we got Latour Carter in studio, poet.
Hey.
You know, when we talk about poetry in February, in the spoken word, you know, many times the spoken word from our community kind of uplifts us. You know what I mean? I mean, sometimes people, you know, when they talk about the black plight, many times in poetry we capture through spoken word.
Very true.
How you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored.
Hey, now give us a little rundown and a little background of how you became a poet.
Well, I mean, much like the celebration of Black history, it's really in my blood.
Mm-hmm.
My father is a poet. All my life he's been writing. And so I think it naturally just came to me. When I was 13, I was living in New York City, and I had entered a poetry contest, and I made it all the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, made it all the way to the States. And so it was, to me, that was a really exhilarating experience. For a while, though, I actually slipped into being a rapper, so I was doing...
Oh, snap. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me tell you this. I started out as doing poetry, and I ended up becoming a rapper.
See?
You know what I mean?
See?
So, you know, I
Rap
just
is nothing but poetry
right.
in motion, man.
And that's what I said. Like, I kind of was like, okay, I was going to ask you, did you ever do music?
Yeah. Yeah. So,
what was your rap name?
Oh, man. Honeybee. Not too much now.
Hey, that's what's up.
Not too much now.
That's what's up.
So I actually, you'll hear it today. My nephew was killed in 2015 in Madison, Wisconsin by a white police officer.
Oh, wow.
And so I stopped writing altogether, music, everything. A friend of mine, R. Moore, who's pretty nationally known for his poetry, was in Madison and asked me to go ahead and come do some shows for him. And what I thought was a favor for him ended up being a favor for myself. Got me back into writing, got me back into spitting and expression. One thing that holds true, I think, throughout history, during times when it's the hardest for our people, the arts, music, poetry, anything that involves the creativity is so important.
It keeps us inspired.
It does. It keeps us holding on to something. Absolutely.
And I'll say this, and I appreciate you for coming on the show. And when I talk about February and the struggle of the community, many times in poetry and even in music, you'll hear the struggle that continues.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a vicious cycle sometimes that we live in. One thing I also know, though, is that resilience is really the name of the game. I tell people this isn't a race thing at all. We're all running together. And either you running scared or you running free.
Right.
And so either way, we're all running together.
Now, when we talk about just the culture right now, and you look at the culture and you look at the communities, what is your perception of what's going on with the culture inside the community right now? It's the truth now. You can be honest now. I mean, like you said, everybody's perception is different. But when we look at our community and the direction that we're headed,
I feel like when we speak about things like that, when we're talking about historically disenfranchised communities, we don't have to look at it in terms of race or even prejudices. We can look at it as far as other communities. If you walk into affluent neighborhoods, you can see where money is invested. They have mental health programs. They have after-school programs. They're under-policed, and they are over funded. And so it's reflective of when you see the numbers of Brown Deer versus the north side of Milwaukee. One school that children walk into, the teachers get iPads in their swag bags. The other one, the teachers have to help find a way to fix the roof. And so economics play a huge part in when we look at our community. We can't ever talk about poor without including race. And so I think that, I know that the young ladies on before were talking about bullying. They were talking about a lot of things that hit close to home for me, some of the programs that I have. We can start with the fact that young black boys across America can't read. Anywhere between 60 to 70-something% of our black boys cannot
And a lot of people think that is through the public school is done on purpose.
We know that there's plenty of books that talk about it. There's the numbers are out there. The stats are out there. There's a school to prison pipeline.
Right.
We know that beds in prisons are determined based off of first grade test scores. So it's not surprising when we see
in some areas third grade. Yep.
Yeah, it's not surprising. People talk about the system. It's broken. No, it's fixed. It's fixed against
It's working the way it was designed.
Exactly how it was designed to work. The only way that you see the change is, surprisingly, they're not showing it enough, I guess, on major news platforms. But if you care to just look a little deeper, about 3/4 of the population is about to start protesting the inequalities, the injustices, because like I said, we're all feeling it. It's not just us versus them. It's us versus the people who are creating the rules around us. Why does Congress hold the most millionaires and billionaires in our country? So all the rich folks are making all of the rules.
Right.
And so when you look at it...
Got the inside trading tips.
Man, one of the things that we don't talk about enough is the lack of showing up in the communities that need it the most. My fiance and I, we talk about it often, about getting on a soapbox again. Because when you protest, you see young black men and women come out, but you notice that, and I've had them tell me, y'all ain't talking to us. Y'all ain't where we're at. You're downtown, you're here and you're there, but you're not in our communities. You're not talking to us.
Hey, I hear it all the time. That's why when I designed this platform, I didn't want it celebrity-driven. I wanted it people-driven. I wanted to hear the people that they claim to be serving. I wanted to hear what they had to say.
Yeah.
Because many times you have a press conference from the people that's supposed to be leading the community, but then you'll hear from the people and it'll be a totally different conversation. So many times we have to make sure that we're hearing each other.
Yeah.
And understanding what steps that we need to take from actually listening to the people that are living in the conditions that we're facing.
Oh, absolutely.
So I do that all the time. Like I love it when it happens because it's a total contradiction of what's being said.
Literally.
So, hey, but we're here for that for that poetry, and I think that we have a dynamic poet. Can we get some of that art?
Absolutely.
LaTour.
Absolutely.
If you're listening, as we broadcast live, we got LaTour Carter in the studio. And look, this is February. This is motivation. It's on you. Let's hear some art.
You know, I always had a friend, and he was always telling me how bougie I was, and always asked me, how do you want to be treated? And so I told him, treat me Caucasian. Come off them benefits, untriple all of our sentences, treat me Caucasian, give me a loan with no sin attached, give me some privilege, give me that. 'Cause I'm all in your hood with my hoodie on, but I got Skittles and tea, and I'm like 14, so treat me Caucasian. Because you like the way that I talk and the type of music that I listen to, you're always asking me where I'm from, and so I'll tell you. Where I'm from, you stand on street corners watching cars and sad old ladies pass by. They'll slap a loitering sign on a brick wall because you were standing there too long, or give you tickets for watching pink gum turn black on the sidewalk, or for watching grass gasp for air between the confinements of a cement crack. Where I'm from, you sit in parks and you're bothered by drug dealers and men old enough to be your father wanting to know your age. Too young, you tell them, but they don't leave, so you do first. Where I'm from, it's a scent of café con leche y pan mantequilla through our half-open windows that wakes us up each morning. But the gunshot of last night's murder is followed by the officious knock of a warrant squad coming to take your bread, coffee, and freedom away. Where I'm from, police will run into your house without knocking. They'll throw you off a rooftop and say you slipped. They shot my nephew and said he was crazy, would put a bullet in my head and say they found me that way. Where I'm from, you run to the hospital because some little boy spit out a razor and carved a crescent into your face, or a 9 and blew a hole in your back. But baby, what you have to understand is that where I'm from, even our dead have to wait until their number is called. So treat me Caucasian. Come off them benefits. Untriple all of our sentences. Treat me Caucasian. Give me a loan with no sin attached. Give me some privilege. Give me that. Cause I'm all in your hood with my hoodie on. But I got Skittles and tea. And I'm like 14. So treat me Caucasian. Now, I will never give y'all a problem without coming up with a solution. So what do we do, Tory? We find a spot. One that upon entering, it'll feel as though that city has never existed. We'll bring friends for laughter, blankets for comfort. We'll watch as the sun drips golden across wild weeds, plants too strong for the confinement of a cement crack. And like a whisper into a song, they'll grow and create their own garden. We'll be weary of the broken beer bottles and the used needles. We look past the ugly and encourage the intoxicating soil for what it truly is. A haven for all those who don't want to face the reality that life has become. That watching life itself go by has become our crime. So treat us Caucasian. Come off them benefits. Untriple all of our sentences. Treat us Caucasian. Give us some loans with no sin attached. Give us some privilege. Give us that. Cause we all in your hood with our hoodies on. But we got Skittles and tea. And we're like 14. So treat us Caucasian. And that's that piece.
Puff! Latour Carter in studio. When we come back, we'll have more poetry. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's a big week for Milwaukee College Prep. Milwaukee College Prep is a high-performing, nonprofit charter school network serving more than 2,000 black and brown scholars from K-3 through 8th grade right here in Milwaukee. Join MCP as we celebrate Black History Month. Hear directly from their alumni and scholars as they share what Black History Month means to them, the pride, the legacy, and the responsibility to lead. Because Black History isn't just a month, it's the foundation of our future. Milwaukee College Prep, building scholars, shaping leaders, inspiring tomorrow.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about 4 walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your family's tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Seven The Truth, Tory Low Show. Look, we got an amazing poet in studio, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this is good for the soul. Latour Carter in studio. Now, you're related to Tony Robinson, where over 10 years ago he was killed by Madison police officer, and many times when we hear about those stories from 10 years ago, because a lot of the conversations kind of get lost. Whatever took place, whatever happened with that situation?
It's still happening.
Right.
There's still a fight going on. My mother, Sharon Irwin, she is a constant force. His brothers, actually, they stay now here in Milwaukee with us. Sometimes you have to remove yourself from the environment, right, to fight it from the outside. So that's kind of what's going on. It's a subject that I never mind speaking about. Right. If you ever want to get me on here to really get in depth with it.
Let's get the family on here.
Get the family in here.
Do it justice. Yeah.
Absolutely. So, I mean, as far as that is, we're still pushing the courts, still getting all the dockets together. The evidence is out there. If you go to if you Google Tony Robinson files right now, they'll redirect you to a site that has all of the evidence up there.
Okay.
So I would say some viewer discretion to that, and some advisories, because it is graphic. But you'll get to see what the medical examiner said, how it's completely conflicting to the story that was given.
Right.
But as I was telling you during break, it's almost political suicide to convict an officer in a predominantly white city, right, where there are liberalism is there, but it's very undercover.
Well, I'll say this, when you talk about policing, many times what we see is something that's been done wrong. They've been given a green light many times. True. So when they went out there, so they say, hey, go out there, and then if something happened, we'll take care of it.
It's a result of training. Right. When you see a police officer pressing his knee on the back of a black man's neck, that's actually training.
And you can't tell me with all of the conversations that we've been having over the years that they don't know exactly what they're doing. I mean, I refuse to believe that they don't understand the current and the complaints and the concerns of the community, but they get out here and we kind of continue to see the same thing. So which leads me to believe that the management, the leadership is green lighting a lot of what we say is what we don't want from policing, but it continues to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. I regularly ask myself, why are mental health crises or domestic violence or even, maybe some strong arm, something going on, responded to with people with guns? Why is it always the escalation there? Why is the training the way that it is? And what it teaches us is, as you said, it doesn't matter how many councils you put in place or how many community advocates there are. If something doesn't change within the system itself, it's all going to be Band-Aids over bullet wounds. That's all you're looking at. Madison is performative at best, and anybody who knows me knows I don't mind saying that out loud. They're performative at best when it comes to black excellence or black anything. So I don't mind that my mom goes out there and fights. My mom, like I told you, she's a white woman. She's got long dreadlocks all the way down her back, and she understands an inherent truth. There are things she can say and do to these people that I never could, and so she will say them.
Look, I appreciate you for helping us get a small update. We're going to have to get you to gather everybody that wants to come and we can give it a due diligence on the Tory Low Show. So I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely.
But look, it's February, like I said, and we got an amazing poet, LaTour Carter, in the studio. And they was clocking that T from the first one. They was clocking.
Man, I appreciate it.
Hey.
I'm going back and forth on how deep I want to get for this last one. Do I want to leave y'all a little in some thought? But
hey, come on now. We want it all. We want you to leave us in thought. We want you to bring it in your own way. You know how they say in church, you got to come in your own way.
Well, I'm going to go hard right now. And if you want to see some more, tonight at 7 p.m., if you show up to Freight 38.
Freight 38.
I host Food for Thought Poetry every Tuesday, and I'll get a little softer for y'all. So let's go hard.
That's powerful.
We're supposed to be made in America. Praised in America. But we've been slaves to America. We were birthed in chains, raised off hate and crack cocaine in America. Looks like we the new black stains in America. We got targets on our backs from the biggest gangs in America. Because it seems it's all about a badge these days when you got crooked cops putting bodies in the bags these days. And a lot of our people, they done passed these days. But we all come together to have conversations about how much caskets weigh. But ain't no violins being played here. It's only violence and sirens being staged here. Welcome to the block where the cops don't play fair. They'll put a gun to your head and they'll tell you to lay there like an animal. But ain't no circus acts being staged here. It's soldiers that was raised here, soldiers that was praised here. This too live, this the right side, and I'm the display here. They took a lot of lives. My nephew Tony, he was one of them. But they took Mike Brown, Sandra Bland, look at what they done to them. Tamir Rice, Eric Garner, look at what they done to them. Our kids can't run to them because harming us is fun to them. But I guess it's all fun and games in America when Jim Crow laws still remain in America. Black skin still experiencing pain in America. And check out Brookfield, strange fruit still does hang in America.
Oh,
you trying to make a change, but ain't no change in America. We had let Obama try it, had a few protests and riots, but after the first term, things got silent. Funny how you got cops on trial and they never get convicted, just fired or miss trials. But they never miss their target. Nope. They don't miss a beat. They can't let the streets mix with Harvard. So they turn scholarships into scholar clips, clipping scholars with hollow tips. And it never really matters whose name is on the bullet, because truth is we all look the same on a bullet. Tell me this. How can racism be dead when being black comes with speculation? And cops showing dedication and popping us like medication. And when they sick of us, they put a stick to us or into us with no hesitating. That is devastating. They making devil statements. They do what the devil's saying while we think ahead of Satan. See, if I was in the right placement, I would ask that officer, you got a family that live at home, right? And you would do anything if someone did them wrong, right? And that's how we feel. But do you ever tell your family what you doing on them long nights? How you attack suspects and take the wrong life? Suspects you claim to be shadows in the wrong light, and then you try them like you tried OJ for the wrong knife. You following the courts, but you following the wrong rights. Because we got the right to remain silent, and y'all got the right to remain violent. And you wonder why we fight for our balance, fight for our freedom, fight till you free them, fight for our kids just to feed them. I mean, imagine growing up in these streets and your main priority is making sure they eat. And I say they because my nephew Tony had a sister, 4 brothers, and a mother. And best believe everything he did was for him. He jumped back on track to get his life back in order, and they took his last breath before his last chance to call him. Imagine being in my niece's shoes right now. On a day her cousin gone, she get a birthday and she gotta mourn. And I think about my sister, how she torn, drowning in a bottle so she ain't gotta mourn. So please, a moment of silence after I'm gone. Pray for the fallen, tell them all to be strong. Because all we want is justice and peace, and not killers in uniforms adjusting a peace. And that's that peace.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing.
took me there.
Where are you performing tonight?
Freight 38.
Freight 38. What's the
Yep,
address?
838 South 1st Street. At 7 p.m., the doors open. It's an open mic. You can sign up. You can go on Eventbrite right now, and all the tickets are half off until about 5 o'clock, so y'all got a little bit of a window here. But show up at 7, 8 o'clock, the show starts. I'll be hosting, hitting the stage. We got good food coming through. I think it's rib tips, some jerk chicken, mac and cheese, cornbread, some black eyed peas, some other stuff. Great bartenders, great atmosphere. It's really, it's really
That's what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to slide through.
I'm going to get you on camera, man.
Hey, that's fine.
All right.
Hey, look, I appreciate you for coming through, LaTour Carter. Once again, amazing artwork that you displayed today. Powerful.
Appreciate you, man.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in.
This Black History Moment is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law.
Fred Hampton was born on August 30th, 1948, and assassinated on December 4th, 1969. We've all heard the fiery speeches. We've all heard the stories of his charismatic leadership as the chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party. But Minister Fred Hampton, or Black Moses as he was dubbed, was much more than that. Fred Hampton believed that the only way to create lasting change in this country was for the poor and underprivileged to join forces. With this in mind, in April of 1969, Fred Hampton announced the creation of the Rainbow Coalition, a coalition that would be used to fight police brutality amongst a list of other things. With all that's going on in our country today, we could use a Black Moses. 57 years later, and here we are again with the poor and underprivileged needing to unite once again. Let's see who steps up.
This Black History Moment is sponsored by Educators Credit Union and Tayback Law.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Listen to the home of the 5K Gruber Cash Giveaway. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. Stand up. It's Tory Low, the truth. From 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Low from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Low Show. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Low Show. And we had amazing guests last hour. You know, that poetry from Miss Carter, Andrew, we need to chop that up. We need to make sure, and also Muhir, but we got to make sure that we put that, slice these things up, because each poem had its own, feel to it.
And if anybody missed Mohab that came through, he's on YouTube right now. We have him up.
We got him up. But I think we got to make the little segments of each poem, because the poetry was so sharp. And I got my feel today. This is amazing. This is why I like the Tory Low Show, because we get to hear from the people that are out here getting involved and being about that action. And many times I think that people, sometimes they'll try to script everything and program what we hear. And a lot of times I didn't even pay attention for a long time to the black media outlets because it was all scripted and fed to us. And many times we don't get that raw emotion, that raw ideal of what people feel that is going on. So that's why I think that this show is just so amazing, because we get to hear from the people in the community that are being affected, and they get to talk to us directly, and we can have these conversations, and then we can kind of move from there. So that was just amazing poetry. And she had a situation where her family is dealing with still to this day with Tony Robinson. And that was over 10 years ago in Madison. And they're still fighting, for justice for their loved one. So I'm going to try to hook up something to where the family can come in and we can kind of get an update on what took place. You've seen what happened with Corey Stingley, where they just finally got something out of nothing, basically, where the men who killed Corey Stingley was kind of had to admit that they killed him and be considered murderers for the death of Corey Stingley. Well, it didn't happen the way a lot of people thought it was going to happen, but I'm going to tell you, when they shut that door, it's so hard to get something when they shut the door. And we are resilient as a people. We continue to fight to this day in America. And this is why I always say we don't owe nobody anything. A lot of times they'll try to guilt trip us into fighting for other causes that we get no benefit from. We don't owe anybody anything because all of our efforts was for everybody, and everybody have benefited from the efforts of blacks fighting for freedom. Everybody that's standing on this earth, on this soil right here in America have benefited from our fight against inequality. Understand what I'm saying? So it's no longer that we have to kind of be guilt-tripped into stepping outside when our community needs our attention. It's time to restore and repair the village. 2026, you don't owe nobody nothing. We don't have to feel obligated to stand out there with the bullhorn, with the cape, with the hole in it in front of nothing. We need that energy in our neighborhoods for our youth, for our elders. They need us now more than ever. And we need each other now more than ever. We can no longer look the other way on the issues, on the tough issues that are going on. We have so many housing issues going on, so many issues with education, so many issues with black economics in our neighborhoods. That's where the energy need to be. Creating, regrouping, rethink, reshape, retooling, revitalizing, reinvesting. But I want to get into some of the stories that I have on the docket for today. Many times, when I get caught up in understanding the plight of our community, sometimes, as an advocate, when I leave the show, I'm on the phone a lot of times dealing with some of the issues that we talk about on the air. So it just blesses my heart to hear the creative ideas from the artists that come through. But there is a situation that I want to talk about in Memphis. I want to head over to Memphis. We got Memphis on the docket today, where a Memphis pastor, business owner, is second man arrested in sex crime involving a child. This is a Memphis pastor now. He owned a business, and I guess they said he was a business owner. He's the second man arrested in a sex crime involving a child. Let's run over to Memphis right quick and let's get this story. This story has been making its way through social media. If you're watching as we broadcast live, hit the like and subscribe. We got video. Let's listen.
Graphic design, and the guy has a business. So he used to take him to the business to print out things, help him get little orders together. He liked it there.
A mother who Fox 13 will not be identifying says her son's life was changed forever after he began working at Martinius Tyler's print shop.
I thought that was good for him because that's what he wanted to do. And that's when he met Mr. Smith.
She said she never met DeMarcus Smith in person, but she found out who he was after going through her son's phone.
And I opened it up. My heart shattered.
She found nude photos and sexual conversations and reported it to police. She soon found out Smith was already a registered sex offender. In 2015, he pled guilty to possession of child pornography. Prosecutors say he coerced a boy to send sexually explicit photos of himself. At the time, Fox 13 reported Smith was a pastor at Oak Hill Missionary Baptist Church. He served just over 7 years in federal prison. After his release in 2023, Smith went back to preaching at another local church, Jordan River Missionary Baptist. Fox 13 found this post from June 2024, a flyer promoting Reverend DeMarcus Smith as the Sunday speaker. Then this post from September 2024, showing Smith on a clergy appreciation celebration service. He pleaded guilty to new sex charges involving that woman's son less than a year later and was sentenced to 30 years in prison.
It wasn't enough time because I don't think it's enough time in the world to give somebody for a crime like this.
Now, a second person indicted on human trafficking and aggravated sexual exploitation of a minor. Martinius Tyler, the owner of the print shop where Smith met the victim, and according to Facebook posts, a pastor and elder at the same church where Smith preached.
Oh, wow.
I trusted you to help me help him. And this is what you think, this how you thank me, this how you return the favor. You abused your power and manipulated children. And it wasn't fair.
Oh, wow. Now, that's the worst thing that can happen when it comes out to church, you know, when the child is abused at church, where there's these people using God as a way to kind of lead people into a trap. You know, many times I feel that before you start a church, before you become a pastor, before you kind of open up your doors to the community, we need to do a background check. I think that we should start doing background checks on some of these pastors. I believe we should run a background check on some of these people. I mean, sometimes they don't have history, but you never know. Like, before you leave your kid alone with somebody or as a mentor, sometimes y'all got to run these background checks on these folks. See if they got something in their background, because, I mean, some of these people be a little too extra friendly and welcoming for these kids, and then come to find out they, you know, that's what they looking for. They looking for your babies, and they disarm you with the fact that they are pastors and trusted members of society, and then next thing you know, something happens to where this mother had to see her child in the phone and all of this, and then the pastor that the person that was doing this to the child already had a criminal history on this. I think that before you even start doing anything when it comes to leaving your kids with these adults, you should do a background check. You know, look up and see if they got some sick stuff up in there. Stop letting your kids walk around these adults without doing and checking and doing as much as you can, you know, possibly to make sure that they protected. Because I'm telling you, with this Epstein list out here, with all of these people, they seem like the thirst is for these kids. I've been telling y'all, the groomers is going on. You can't trust your kid around no adult unless you understand, you know, unless that adult is on a certain level of understanding where you kind of, you know, understand that this adult is safe with your child. But then you really never know until you look in the phone and see something extra going on. Just keep your head on the swivel when it comes to this, because only reason I don't like this story is because this woman is on there with a hoodie on, ashamed because she allowed her child to go with the minister, to go with the pastor. And she was taken advantage of. But how many people get taken advantage of by people who easily go into the church, say that God called them to do the word, to preach the word, and now they, you know, serving time for being pedo. I understand what I'm saying. It's a new time. You got to use new strategies. You got to use new tactics. You got to use new tactics. It's just what's going on. And 2026, you got to do a background check. I understand you might feel, hey, this person is a good person, but don't be reactionary. Be about that action. Keep your head on. When I say keep your head on the swivel, I'm talking about at all times. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Low Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, it's all about the NBA trade deadline with Marcus and Chris. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
At Versity on King, we believe taking care of our community starts right here, together. Every day, neighbors step up to donate blood, helping save lives in Milwaukee and beyond. But Versity on King is more than a donor center. It's a place for health education, community connection, and support, especially for families facing conditions like sickle cell disease. When you donate blood, you're not just giving. You're showing up for your community. Visit versity.org/VersityOnKing to learn more or schedule your donation today. Versity on King, rooted in community, powered by hope.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The WIAA playoffs begin this weekend. On the girls' side, the City Conference is well represented. In Division I, the 3-seeded Pulaski defends home court against Racine Case. The 4-seeded Rufus King Generals host Menominee Falls. The 12th-seeded Hamilton hits the road to visit Oak Creek. And the 9th-seeded Reagan travels to Lake Geneva to take on Badger. In Division II, the 2nd-seeded Bayview Red Cats are ready for Cudahy, and the 5th-seeded Golden Meyer Owls have a tough test on the road against Brookfield Central. And lastly, in Division III girls, the 5th-seeded Milwaukee North head to Racine to take on St. Catharines. Now some quick highlights from the boys' side. Milwaukee Juno earned the #1 seed in Division IV, while Golden Meyer earned the #2 seed in Division II. The boys' tournament tips off on Tuesday, March 3rd. And make sure you tune in for our City Conference Game of the Week this Saturday, as we will be broadcasting the boys' Gold Division Championship with tip-off set for 3:30 right here on 1017 The Truth.
This has been your Milwaukee Public Schools City Conference Basketball Weekly Update. This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You don't know. I don't know if y'all know who this man is. Y'all probably been under a rock, or you just been watching CNN, Fox News, or MSNBC. But there's a whole lot of people who know who this man is. You know what? Matter of fact, I think I better let him introduce himself. Yeah. Tory Low about that action.
1017 The Truth. Tory Low Show. We was recently on WISN, Truth Nation. The Truth was featured on WISN, Evolution of Black Media in Milwaukee. We got some video on this. I like it when we get highlighted for doing what we do in the community. It's always a blessing. I was out and about, and somebody, when I was standing in line, I think I was at the outpost, and somebody was listening to me talk on the phone, and they was like, I know your voice. You Tory Low. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I just seen you on WISN, And I was like, okay, thank you, God bless you. That's a powerful thing when your community can recognize your voice or look at you in a way where you're somebody that is for them, that helps the community. So that's an honor and a privilege to me. But we got some video if you're watching this rebroadcast live. The Evolution of Black Media in Milwaukee is what they titled it. And salute to WISN for doing this piece on black media right here in the city of Milwaukee. If you're listening, if you're watching this rebroadcast live, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're watching on 101.7 The Truth as we broadcast on YouTube, let's listen.
The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on 101.7 FM.
Since 2021, 101.7 The Truth has been a source for black listeners.
I publicly speak every day, and my career has been political science.
On popular shows hosted by longtime radio voices like Sherman Hughes.
And I think that's what's so important.
Homer Blow, and more recently, Tory Low.
Getting to the heart of the story. Making sure that the people who are most affected have a chance to just say what they're feeling. So I use my show as a tool to make sure that people not only heard what was going on, got information, but actually did call to actions to try to get active out in the community at the same time.
Community activist Tory Low spends his afternoons getting answers.
Black radio is actually a resource for the community, and it's active, and it's live, and it's happening right now. And to me, that's powerful.
Even before people were turning on their TVs and their radios, they were turning the pages of black newspapers. And the first off the press in 1892 was the Wisconsin Afro-American. It was originally used to recruit black people to the North for work. While that paper was short-lived, it set the tone for others to come, such as the Milwaukee Community Journal.
Reporting on him through the years, things that he has said.
Longtime editor Thomas Mitchell has witnessed the impact of blacks on the city, covering politics, business, and education since 1976, and the recent loss of civil rights leader Jesse Jackson.
It's important to the community that, we can help keep his memory alive.
In '87, the Milwaukee Times started in the publisher's basement, documenting daily life. That reporting continues today with the city's current grocery store crisis.
We're going to continue to fight, and we hope that with the support of the community and people like you guys can help us maintain our identity.
Each outlet.
And then we're wondering, where's the accountability?
With a shared goal.
I didn't have to be Democrat, I didn't have to be Republican. I can just be a citizen and talk about what's going on in the neighborhood.
In Milwaukee.
I'm the legendary Homer Blow.
Zoe Henry.
We're out of here. I'll be black.
WISN 12 News.
Hey, salute to WISN for that article. And like I said, it's not a monolith when it comes to black media many times. But when I was coming up, Homer was on the radio many times. It's a blessing to have him right here at The Truth, because, you can see the past, the present, and the future right here on this radio station. So that's powerful. That's powerful that we get to have all of these different personalities, and Sherwin Hughes, Dr. Ken, Kyle Wallace, broadcasting to us every day from their perspective and their angles on the neighborhoods. A lot of people think that, just because we have different views that we don't get along. No, we love each other. We support each other. We don't have to agree. I don't ever feel like I have to agree with you to get something done. I feel like if we both get something done, we can talk about the results and we can move on to get more results. My thing is, you go to work every day with people that don't even agree with you, probably don't even like you, and you get that check on Friday. You get that check on Friday and you go back to work. And that's the brilliance of what we're doing. We're showing that it's not about how you feel, it's about what we can do. And we do amazing work together. We just had the 101.7 The Truth second annual Community Awards. And I'm going to tell you right now, the room was packed. And the love and support was so tremendous for those that are on the front lines that, it just makes me want to shed tears to see our community moving forward with those brothers and sisters on the front lines finally getting the acknowledgement. Many times they didn't do it for recognition. They didn't do what they did for money. They would have done it even if they didn't have any money. And to tell you right now, we need these brothers and sisters out here in the front. We need the community to know who these people are, and we need greater examples of what servitude looks like. Everybody didn't win celebrity. Everybody wants to be a celebrity. Everybody wants to sit back and say, okay, I'm the big bad honcho, I'm the chief, but without no results. And that's why the community looks resultless, because you're allowing the leadership, you're giving them the praise, you're giving them the celebrity treatment without them having to have results for you. And these are supposed to be servants to serve you on a day-to-day basis, to serve the needs of their constituents. And so when you talk about why is leadership important, it's important because it sets the tone. And right now, we're setting the tone by making sure that the brothers and sisters on the front lines are loved and supported. The brothers who are out here trying to get the results are loved and supported, and not cast to the side and not lost in the background. It's time to be more strategic and more certain of our leadership. I believe we're uncertain of the leadership. We don't even know, half the time we talk about, we don't even know what they even did. But we see them on the news, we see them on the press conference, we don't even know. And that got to change. So salute to all of the brothers and sisters on the front lines. I need you to step to the front of the community. 2026 is time to repair the village. It's time to restore the village. And that's going to take people that are willing to roll up their sleeves and get to work, not just jaw-jacking, talking. Nobody don't know what you do. Nobody don't know. They know you're getting paid. They know you got a nice suit on. They know that, you've been around, you in a position, but nobody can't tell. You can ask 10 people coming out of Walmart what these people do, and nobody wouldn't even know nothing about them. That's crazy to me. That's wild to me that we have leadership and nobody knows what they even do. Or we got to struggle to find out what they do. Don't no other community do that. Don't no other community, they put their leadership in place and they there to serve. Our leadership act like celebrities half of the time. Don't even answer the phone. You call in game, don't even answer the phone. It has to change. You have to get back to serving the needs of the people that you represent. And it's going to take us to do it. We got to demand that. We got to stop celebritizing people that we don't even know what they even do. Understand what I'm saying, Truth Nation? Never been a better time to start that. Also, I want to talk about this because this has been in the news for a while. This has been in the news for a couple months now. This grocery store from Sherman Park, the Milwaukee Sherman Park Grocery, partners with a nonprofit to support kids. Now, we've been talking about grocery stores. Here goes grocery store right here, Sherman Park Grocery. They're partnering and continuing to try to be effective in the community. If you're watching this rebroadcast live, we got video. Let's listen.
Sherman Park Grocery opened its doors Monday for Milwaukee Area Technical College students.
I'm getting a little bit of everything. Groceries, some household items like cups, some cleaning stuff, a little bit of everything.
Tiana Robinson-Reed is a second-year student who registered with Fast Fund MATC, a nonprofit that helps students financially and also with food insecurity.
I love it. I don't turn down free, but I think it's great that MATC partnered with a business like this in the community and just helping them out.
Fast Fund MATC says about 50 students will come here to Sherman Park Grocery and get access to food like hot dog links, as well as bacon and chicken, all to make sure they have access to healthy food.
When you have food insecurities on top of the apartheid that's happening all over the north side with grocery stores being closed, we just want to bring awareness to that.
Sherman Park grocery owners say Monday's event is providing critical sales. They say the store is at risk of closing due to a decline in customers, coupled with $90,000 in flood damage repairs. They're situated in Milwaukee's food desert and provide critical access to fresh produce.
People and purchases are important for us here at Sherman Park Grocery Store. People and purchases as we recalibrate and as we try to move forward and sustain our doors and keeping our doors open. Sustainability.
Sustainability, not only for the business, but students too.
Us coming in, or like me coming in, going ahead and making a post about it or letting your friends and family know about it, I think that part is just the biggest thing for small business owners.
Hey, stop through and grab some items out of the Sherman Park grocery store. He's been on the news quite a bit in the last couple of months in fear of closing his doors, but he's still working with organizations to make sure that people have fresh fruits, groceries, and I salute to the owner of the Sherman Park grocery store for just continuing to find ways to keep the doors open and help the community. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation. Truth Nation, stay locked in.
To the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Injured at work, unable to work, or denied veteran benefits you're entitled to? Last year, Tayback Law returned over $73 million in wrongfully denied VA and Social Security benefits to people in our communities. Tayback Law celebrates Black History Month by bringing its message to 101.7 The Truth. The team is thrilled to see Milwaukee achieve this exciting new outlet for speaking truth to power. And Tayback Law is always ready to fight for you. Call Tayback for the payback. TaybackAttorneys.com.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am ASAP and Maya Angelou.
I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass.
From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep Scholars recite, not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning, because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
70 million people in the U.S. have learning and thinking differences, like ADHD and dyslexia. Each has their own story. This is ours. At first, I thought it was just a phase. Then schoolwork became a struggle. Emotions got bigger, and my kids started falling behind. I felt alone, like I was lost in the dark trying to find answers. Then I learned about Understood.org, a nonprofit empowering parents and kids like us. It was like we had a light to show us the path ahead. Whenever new challenges came up, their guidance helped us figure out our next step. We still have tough days, but now we have direction. And I have the tools and resources I need to help my child thrive. No matter where you are on the path, Understood can help you keep moving forward. Visit understood.org/yourpath today.
Many of our most important memories are made at school. But for children like Victoria, the classroom can be a place of fear and isolation. She wore a bandage over her cleft every day, too shy to speak, too afraid to smile. Everything changed after one life-transforming surgery made possible by Smile Train. Today, Victoria's smile lights up her classroom, a symbol of confidence, connection, and new beginnings. Due to stigma, children with untreated clefts often miss out on school entirely. But thanks to Smile Train, students like Victoria are stepping into the classroom, raising their hands, and finding their voice. Smile Train partners with local experts to support with free cleft surgeries and other comprehensive care, empowering children to thrive in school and in life. Let's help every child walk into the classroom with confidence. Visit smiletrain.org/learn.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by FidelityWealthManagement.com. After years of corporate boards diversifying, there's one group of people that are seeing a spike in hiring: white men. Bloomberg Equality reporter Jeff Green says that despite the larger DEI pullback across big companies, this shift might be because of a different reason.
The emphasis is on people who are CEOs or former CEOs. They're looking for that expertise, and over the last 5 years, that has been less emphasized. When you go for diverse candidates, you're just, by definition, they are much less likely to have been a CEO.
While the rise in adding white men as board members isn't related to the greater DEI pullback in the corporate world, it does highlight how a lack of diversity historically in big businesses is still having an impact on hiring today. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
This True Sports Center update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Andrew Zimmel. After getting, quote, manhandled by the Toronto Raptors on Tuesday night, the Bucks play at home against the Miami Heat tonight. Miami is looking to build upon a 3-game win streak with a victory over Milwaukee. This is the second time the two teams have matched up this season. Tip-off tonight is at 7 p.m. The Marquette Golden Eagles are on the road today taking on Georgetown. Tip-off tonight is at 6 p.m. Marquette has a 25-15 advantage in the all-time series against the Hoyas. Marquette has 4 games remaining, 2 on the road, 2 at home, before they travel to Madison Square Garden for the Big East tournament. And the Wisconsin Badgers travel to Oregon tomorrow for a late tip-off against Oregon at 10 p.m. This True Sports Center update was brought to you by ESPN Milwaukee.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Baby, and that's real. You know I'm in the field, you know I'm in the field. I said I'm Mr. Low. AK the people's champ, the life of the party, you know I get it jumping. And you know I'm in the field, you know I'm in the field. Everywhere you go, I'm there. Baby, and that's real. You know I'm in the field, you know I'm in the field. It's Mr. Low.
1017 The Truth. Tory Low Show. Joining me on the lines is advocate, author Elizabeth Brown. Elizabeth Brown, how you doing, Queen?
Salute, King. All is well. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, happy Tuesday. Hey, look, I started out the show talking about the importance of having the people in the front lines take the lead now, because a lot of times the people on the front lines, they play the background. You know, they in the shadows. But I think that now our community is calling for the brothers and sisters on the front lines to take the lead, to lead us into the future, and try to get real results from it.
Absolutely. And I couldn't agree with you more. Again, one thing for sure and two for certain, what we do most is what we do best. And those of us on the front line, again, we understand the dynamics. We can no longer allow individuals who look good on the mission statement on paper but don't have any results to what it is that match what's on the paper. It's not about what you're saying at this point. It's about what you're doing, because we're in dire need of individuals who know what to do, when to do it, and why they're doing it, because that equals results. We stood around and allowed, again, I can't even say, we were tricked to believe the illusion that these individuals, just because they had a suit and they had the letters behind their name, that they had a smile, and they told us what they was going to do. In reality, we have years of proof of the patterns of inconsistency, not doing the work. Okay? You just look the part, like you state all the time. If they got a suit on, you know they not working. Okay?
They ain't getting dirty.
Especially those who especially those who play in our face all the time and state that it's their job to do what it is the community needs them to do, or that the constituents need them to do. And in reality, we held with a bag of nothings. You know what I'm saying? I call them at this point the do nothings. And again, these same individuals, when they get in the room with you and I and others that are on the front line, they don't talk much because they don't do much. Because when you in the face of the real of people who really doing it, they're not going to stand there and allow you to take their credit. Because you can't lie to somebody that's outside. You understand what I'm saying? And right now, it's a pivotal time that we have to be outside. We have to be everywhere. These are the same people that told us to choose a side. Don't go over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, they against you. You shouldn't be over there. And if they would have went around, if they would have took their own advice and went over there, they would have seen them over there. Anytime somebody tell you not to go somewhere, that's the exact reason why you should go. Especially when we're talking about politicians, pastors. You understand what I'm saying? Their goal is to mislead you. Anytime somebody give you a choice between two things and you choosing yourself is never one of them, know that it's a setup.
Right.
And it's in your best interest to follow your own mind.
It seems like many times when it comes to the black side of town, and I'm talking about this because we at the end of Black History Month, we coming to the end, but Black history is every day. Black history is being made every day. But the education on understanding that when we talk about community, a lot of people, they're confused when it comes to the black ideal of unity, community, and forwardness. And I'm trying to tell people we don't have to like each other. We don't have to be around each other every day. All we got to do is be result-based. We want outcomes. We want positive outcomes in education, economics, and neighborhood development. And that don't take a meeting to do that. That takes making sure that those that you put in the leadership have your best interests and put together plans that come out with a result of the things that you desperately need. And when you don't see that, that means you being misled.
Absolutely. And the goal, like I said, is the illusion of inclusion. And they'll mislead you to believe that we have to like each other. You understand? To get certain things done. And that's the farthest thing from the truth. McDonald's and Burger King on the same block. They both get money. You understand what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I don't have to like you. You don't have to like me. All I need to do is respect you as a human being and give you the space to do what it is that you do best. Because, again, what you do best ain't something that I do best. But if you doing your best and I'm doing my best, eventually we going to bump into each other with progress.
Some
and
results.
That's what we need.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the divide and conquer is real. Like, this is why I say, like, you know, a lot of times we have lost the way because of the leadership is misguiding us. When we did have well-to-do communities, when we did have great economics and inventors and things like that, they worked to suppress what was great about what we were doing in our communities. And now people would ask the question of, well, how do we come together? No, that's the wrong question. It's what can you do to contribute to the village? And it's time to repair the village. It's time to fill the holes in the village. And that's going to take everybody that lives in the village working on what they see and know to do. And many times you don't need to be told what to do. You can just open your eyes and see what's going on and then take a position and make sure that you can get a result. Take a position. Even with the potholes, only reason the potholes are still in the street is because we have not come together and told our leadership, if you keep these potholes in the street, you will not be elected again. If these potholes are still in my district, I'm going to get somebody in there that can get those potholes removed. And trust me, those potholes will if you threaten to get them out of office, them potholes will be fixed.
Absolutely. Just like everything else would be fixed because, again, they would have to work for us. Right. These individuals we haven't applied any pressure, again, because, like I said, as a people, we believe that you're going to say what you going to do what you say you're going to do. And right now we're in the predicament we're in because we see that they have not. Like I said, the challenge is on us. Because we played the game. They can't give us what we're not open to accept. We're accepting this. We accepting the illusion, because we're feeling like we shouldn't have to babysit these politicians, but it's clear that we have to babysit them too. The reality of it is, like you stated, if you see a piece of paper and you can choose to step over it or pick it up and put it in the trash, that's a decision that you can make. That's how you help. It's not about you coming to me, Tory, or somebody else and say, what can I do? You walk outside your door in the black community, it's always something to do. The question is, do you want to do it or do you want to give your idea to somebody else and watch them do it? Because one thing we have been programmed to be is laid back and not active. They trained us to be reactionary. So we got to come up out of that.
And when we talk about,
ain't no better time than the present.
Moving forward, I always tell people to release those mental chains on your mind to believe that you can't do it. That's a mental chain when all of the power is within you. All of the power is when you accept that you're the one that's going to make the difference. You respond like that. But when you feel powerless, When you give your power to somebody else and hope that somebody else can come in, fly in with the cape and save you, and it never happens, you become powerless. But when you start to realize that you're the superhero, you're the one that's going to save the day, you're the one that's going to have the tangible outcome, that's when things usually take shape, and that's when progress usually, at least the seeds of future progress within you and your community starts within yourself.
Absolutely. And it begins and ends with you.
Right.
And when you understand that is when you start to win.
Hey.
Because we have allowed these individuals to go too far. And again, feeling like, that they smarter than us, that they regular people. They put their pants on one leg at a time, just like you and I. Matter of fact, we're probably better off getting it done because we're used to working, and they're not. Okay, they're used to talking.
Your elected officials is only it's supposed to enhance your ideas of what your community should be like. They're there to enhance the vision of the people for their community. And if they're not enhancing, if they go terms, a couple terms, and you don't see the enhancement, you got to switch it up.
Absolutely. And we know that they out of line and out of order because, again, they're taking our money and then took our civic engagement on what we want them to do. Like, we can't even vote to let them know what we want to do because they took that from us. Again, it's how you know it's out of hand. And at the end of the day, I would always say that, your patterns are predictable. And if you in the proximity, you in participation. And participation in bad decisions make you a failure.
Hey.
I no longer want to participate. I don't want to be in the proximity of failure. I will no longer vote the same way because one thing for sure and two for certain, the way I've been voting haven't got me or my people anywhere. We're nowhere closer to success than we ever been. So being that these individuals are the so-called professionals and their name brand, I don't want name brand no more. I know what name brand going to do. Had the potholes in the street, elders getting evicted, children not being able to eat. That's what the name brand do. Give me somebody that ain't nobody. Give me the underdog because I'm ready to eat. I don't know about nobody else.
Hey, look, when we come back, Elizabeth Brown, I want to get your final thoughts on the show today. Truth Nation. Stay locked in.
You are listening to The Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Wednesday night, the Milwaukee Panthers wrap up their regular season schedule as they host conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins, at Milwaukee Panthers Arena.
20 to shoot. Elam will. No on the three. To the top. Ricochet. Dorceus. He'll take the three, and he'll bury it.
Scott Warris has the coverage Wednesday starting at 6:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield. Tip-off happens at 7 o'clock.
Hi, this is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth, and I want to talk to you about something bigger than just buying a house. I'm talking about building a legacy. Owning a home isn't just about four walls and a roof. It's about giving your kids a place where memories are made, where birthdays are celebrated, and where they always belong. It's about planting roots, knowing your neighbors, waving from the porch, and being a part of a community that feels like family. If you've been renting and wondering if home ownership is even possible, Axe Housing is here to work with you. An Axe Housing coach will help you create a plan, a budget, and move step by step toward owning a place you can truly call your own. They've already helped over 4,000 families become homeowners, and many are paying less than they were paying for rent. Don't let where you are today stop your families tomorrow. Start your journey at axehousing.org. That is ACTShousing.org. Your legacy begins at home.
Our children deserve a real chance to make it in life, and a good education is a passport to opportunity. At City Ford Collective, we're working to make sure there's a great Milwaukee school for every Milwaukee family, because more good options lead to better outcomes. And who doesn't want that? Together, we can give every child the foundation they need to thrive, and a stronger future for kids means a stronger future for Milwaukee. To learn more about our mission, visit us at cityfordcollective.org. That's cityfordcollective.org.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Low Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you ain't know, I get the pesos.
1017 The Truth, Tory Low Show. Joining me on the lines, advocate author Elizabeth Brown. Queen, it's been another powerful conversation today. Let me get your final thoughts on the show.
I mean, again, King, very pivotal that we continue to breathe life into each other and redirect ourselves to knowing the power that we have, the power that we hold. We are not powerless. We don't have to sit and stand by and watch. You know, we have to make sure that we're doing what it is that we know we should be doing. Again, proximity to failure is a liability. And right now we're wondering why we're suffering, and it's due to the fact that we're allowing certain things to happen. When we realize the power that we have in oneself and then each other when we band together, the fist is mighty because you have to bring all fingers together. You understand what I'm saying? So the reality of it is we don't have to agree to stand in agreement that we all suffering right now. That's clear across the board. I've never seen nothing in my life that everything is failure. Everything in our community is failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't even have to argue about that no more. There is no argument. We're suffering, okay? So with that being said, the question is now, we can't be suffering because of one person. We're suffering because of all of us. You know what I'm saying? Like, so with that being said, today's show is the most powerful because when you know better, you do better. And a lot of times people always talk about, when they talk about our community, how bad it is, how you can't do this and you can't do that. And we got all of these individuals saying, you know, this is where the poor people live. And you know what I'm saying? I mean, all of these negative things, if you continue to hear it, you start to believe it. But we here today to say that you have the power. This is why everybody come into your community and open up stores. This is why everybody, all of the people who are out here begging for money or food is in our community. Because this is where it's at. This is why we always get preyed on. But it's a new day. Change your mind, change your life. Ain't no better time than the present. And like I said,
okay,
I don't want nobody who meets the mission statement, because that ain't working.
Make it sound good, make it look good.
That part. Fake it till you make it.
Hey.
And clearly, we ain't making it.
Let me
like
tell you
our
something.
ends not meeting.
I'll say this. You know, when we talk about the power that we have, they'll call and summon us for problems and issues of others. And then we'll go out there with the cake with the hole in it and fight tooth and nail with the bullhorn, holding signs and thinking that they're going to return the favor. Like, okay, y'all stood with us. We're going to come and deal with you and stand with you. And we come back home to poor education. We come back home to economics is not where it need to be. We come back home to lack of neighborhood development. And then it's just us sitting back where we came from, looking around, wondering where's the help. And many times we forget that we were the help for everybody else. We were the ones that went out and challenged the system for everybody else. I think it's time to realize it's time for us to challenge and help and fix for ourselves.
Absolutely. And like I said, 2026 is a season of believing in yourself. Believing in the people that look like you, the ones that are suffering. The reality of it is we have sacrificed ourselves for everybody else. In this season, it's time for us to sacrifice everybody else for self. Because, again, our community is the only community that seems to suffer. Everybody else, when you go to these other communities, they're well-to-do. Matter of fact, we got to come outside our communities to go to these communities because, in reality, the people who's supposed to represent us not helping us help ourselves. They're helping others to feed off of us. So again, we like I said, it's time for us to weed out those that look like us, the skin folk that ain't kin folk, the one who run on that mission statement of, I came from the mean streets of Milwaukee. My mama was a crackhead. My daddy worked in the mill. What are you doing? What have you done to help? Who done left here, came back, and gave back? Okay? No, you're here to get over, too. You're here to make the deal with the people across the way so they can feed on us, too. It's time to open your eyes. Open your eyes and put the power back in your hand. If you see something, stand up, say something. If you see something out of whack, stand up and change it. And together, we don't have to agree. Like I said, all you got to do is respect me, and I'm going to respect you for the skills that you have. You do your thing, I'm going to do my thing, and in the midst, we building a foundation that's going to lead the next 10 generations, not in lack, but in thrive. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And it's our time.
And many times when I talk about the community, many times that old ideology was scripted to us. They talk about, we just had an article from WISN where they talk about the past, present, and future of black media. And many times I felt that black media was scripted. It was given to us through the establishment, and it kept us stagnant because they would select our leaders and put it out there, put these people out there as they were for the people. And many times we're left holding the bag with the hole in it and the streets with the holes in it.
Absolutely, because again, that's where the old saying of separate the wheat from the tare. The tare look just like the wheat, and if you're not careful, you have been to throw away, the wheat, and the tare is only there to destroy the wheat. That's what's happening in our community, and it's time for us again to point it out. It's time to weed the weak. Those individuals that they chose, because we never chose these people. They chose them for us. You know what I'm saying?
And we voted for them. They were selected, and we thought that since we voted for them that they were for us, but they were put there by the people that put up the money, and then you put up the funding with the vote.
Absolutely. That's exactly what it was.
Hey.
But it's a new day. Hey, we see through it. The illusion is a puff of smoke and a high wind. And like I said, if you outside, you no longer falling for the okie doke.
Hey, look,
so
Queen.
We not going, King.
At the end of the day, 2026, we got to mind our own black business, and we got to repair the holes in the village. That's the primary goal, to make sure that we get on the right track with us so we can have the future, have a bright future for the next generation.
Hey, and I'm with that. 10 toes down with it. Let's get it, King.
All right. I appreciate you for Hey, a powerful last words, Queen. I appreciate that. Hey, look, as usual,
Hey,
we got a lot of work to do. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, let's get it.
All right,
love.
Truth Nation. Thank y'all for tuning in today. Salute to everybody that joined the chat. Another powerful chat. I'm going to tell you right now, the chat, I appreciate everybody that joins the chat and actually, talk about it and have these discussions every day. That's powerful. But we got to be about that action. It's still early. It's still early 2026. But when we get down to the end of the year, I want to know how many call to actions did you participate in? How many events that helped others did you participate in? It's up to us to put the cape on with the hole in it for our community, and we here for it. Keep your head on the swivel. Green don't always mean go. And look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you. Dr. Ken Harris up next.